Lent is coming. In just 3 weeks, we will observe Ash Wednesday, the beginning of the Lenten season. This is the 40 days of preparation leading up to Easter, and here is everything you need to know. Lent was not introduced in the church until 325 AD. We need to remember that the observance of Lent is not biblical. The observance of Lent is not found in Scripture. So if we're being judgmental regarding anyone's individual practices of observing or not observing Lent, we need to stop that right now. The word Lent means to lengthen, and it's an Old English word. It refers to the period of time in the spring when days are growing longer, when everything is changing. Originally, Lent focused on fasting, and what a fast it was. If you have ever tried the traditional fast associated with Great Lent, you know that it is extremely difficult. We'll talk more about that in another slideshow. The idea of Lent was inspired by the 40 days Jesus spent fasting and praying in the wilderness before he began his ministry. Now, there's evidence in the past that Lent was not always a 40-day observance, but that is what we use today, and I believe it is because of this scriptural story from the Gospels. If you've ever examined a calendar, you'll find that Lent, beginning on Ash Wednesday and ending with Easter, is actually much more than 40 days. The reason for this is we do not count Sundays. The reason for this is because every Sunday is a joyous day of celebration where we remember the resurrection. In fact, that is why Christians worship on Sundays. We don't keep Sabbath on Saturdays. Instead, we worship on Sundays because that is the day of the week when Jesus was resurrected. Do you need to observe Lent in order to be a good Christian? No, absolutely not. While Lent and the traditions of Lent are a good spiritual tradition, there really is nothing biblical about Lent. We'll be spending some time leading up to Lent examining some of our traditions. And hopefully, if you have the ability to choose to observe Lent, you will do so, and it will be a meaningful one for you. Remember, Lent begins on March 2nd. That's just 3 weeks away.